Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about the moment that has changed everything for Bitcoin and for crypto. It happened yesterday. Some of you picked up on it. Some of you may not have. I'm about to share what that is in just a moment. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to talk about some price action. We're going to follow the yellow brick road. But before we do all of that, you know what I'm going to say next. Smash that like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help to support the channel, as does all your amazing and kind comments that you leave. Thank you so much. Those of you who take the time to write it, I take the time to read it and respond. I really appreciate you. And of course, those who ask questions in the comment section, I do get back to you as soon as I am able to. However, if you'd like more immediate connection with me, you can actually find me in my own Discord. That's right, my own Discord officially. The first lot of people from the waitlist were given invitation emails. If you emailed me from January the 26th onwards, I haven't gotten to you yet. Everybody who emailed me prior to January 25th or on January 25th, please check your emails, because you do have that special invitation from me to join the Discord. Remember, this is an exclusive, limited, by design Discord, and we will be closing off access probably next week, maybe early or mid or later next week, because I do want it to be a very personal, smaller, more intimate Discord where we can really grow together and grow in the training together. And one of the exciting things that we're going to be doing in the Discord is the live trainings, and we're going to be trading together. Now, someone has suggested that we actually do it via Zoom, which would allow everybody to actually ask questions. So you don't have to show your face or put your real name or whatever, so don't worry about that. You can set up a free Zoom account where you're going to be able to go and do those live trainings. We're going to actually try that. We're going to try that. We're going to do the YouTube ones as well, where you can kind of type your questions in there as well. But somebody asked whether or not it's possible whether to have that. So we'll see how it goes, because we have that more intimate trading, smaller Discord by design. This could be something that is possible. If it just becomes where everybody's talking at once, it may be a little bit difficult. But of course, would love to see you in there. Does this mean that I'm leaving the Stocks with Josh Discord? Absolutely not. As you saw yesterday, for those of you in there, I was just as active and engaged as always with you all. And those links, all the links and the information are below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. The Stocks with Josh Discord, I'm in there, of course. Of those of you who are in there, you know me in there. And I have my own crypto channel there where I share, same as in my own Discord, I have trade setups, resources, education, and of course some insights there. And of course entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And no, I still haven't watched Gladiator 2 yet, because I've been too busy in the Discord doing these videos, making some trades, and just loving sharing this journey with all of you, the amazing Tribal Trades family. Just how much love I have for all of you, and for all of you who faithfully tune in to all of my videos. I so appreciate you. And so, of course, those links are below. You can find me in the Stocks with Josh Discord as well. And then the email below is also a wait list for my Discord. And so if you email there, the sooner you get in, the sooner you can get access. And of course, at some point, we're going to cut that off. And so the Discord is going to be closed. So if you would like access to this Discord, you know what to do. The email address is below in the description, and the Stocks with Josh Discord links are below in the description there as well. Lots of choices and opportunity. And of course, many of you are in both. Okay, so let's jump into what is the game changer that happened yesterday, the FOMC meeting. Here it is. Banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they manage the risk. Well, who could have told you that was coming? Well, if you go back to one of my videos from, I don't know, was it a few weeks ago or a month ago? And I did my predictions for 2025, and this was one of them. And I said it would be a game changer, and it absolutely is. Because I did say that I predicted in 2025 banks would be able to custody a cryptocurrency, and that would be revolutionary for the industry. And this is going to be very exciting. So I am waiting to see what the banks, how they respond and what they roll out and the kind of services that they roll out. But it wouldn't surprise me if you're able to stake your crypto in the banks and earn interest on the value of the crypto at the time. And of course, that would be very, and is there going to be some kind of FDIC insurance on that as well? This is all going to be very interesting because that could be an absolute game changer. And I do think that is incredibly bullish, okay? So let's go and look at the charts. And really, we're seeing a lot play out of what I've said, that we're in this range. And I did expect us to stay in this range. Obviously, there was a possibility that Fed Powell was going to dump the market as he did in January. I did say I felt that it was probably priced in and that he would likely be more dovish, but you just didn't know. He's a bit of a loose cannon, and you just didn't know what he was going to do. And he did behave himself, had a very neutral stance there, which really, when I've heard this guy, I can't listen to him anymore. I used to, and it's just like you just want to turn it off. Very bearish, very hawkish. And I do feel that at some point we need a Fed chairman that is going to be a little bit more optimistic about the markets and move the markets forward. We can't just stay hovering around that 2% inflation forever. There's got to be some rate cuts. There's got to be some quantitative easing. And really, the quantitative easing is what we're looking for along with the rate cuts. The Fed is still selling, okay? The Fed is still selling. They are not buying, and we need them buying. That's what quantitative easing is. So quantitative easing, the Fed starts pushing money into the markets and buying, and quantitative tightening as they're reducing their balance sheet and they are sellers. And as you can see from here, yesterday on the press release, the committee will continue to reduce its holdings of Treasury securities and agency debt and agency mortgage-backed securities. So they are still in a phase of quantitative tightening. We haven't had that quantitative easing. And this is amazing, really, because when you think about the last bull run, it was all about Q because of what happened, the Black Swan event in 2020. And what we saw was the Fed cut rates drastically to pump money in the markets and were buyers in the market. Now, during the bear market, they were, as inflation soared as a result, because it was an overreaction to what was going on and too much money was pumped in. They are now quantitative tightening. And so that will come to an end and that will stop at some point. And we hope it does this year so we can see. And I do think when that happens, that's when we're going to see the biggest moments in this bull market. But really, there's been a lot of great gains since the bull run started in January of 2023, or around that time when Bitcoin was around 15K, when it found its low there, or around there. So I think it's done pretty well in an environment of quantitative tightening and rate increases. And now we've had a couple of cuts there, and we're looking forward to having some more cuts and some quantitative easing as well there. So that would be very interesting. So I'm still sticking with, I feel that Bitcoin will make a new all-time high before the end of February, and that Bitcoin will hit 120K before the end of February. Those are the two things that I am continuing to state, and I believe is the highest probability. Now that we have this FOMC meeting out of the way, the next one is not until March. So there's a couple of months for the markets to breathe and pump and have some good upside. Traditionally, altcoins begin to step in this February, around this February time, particularly Super Bowl Sunday, can be a good marker or catalyst as people get around and talk and share their profits and their crypto projects and what meme coins they're buying or not buying, or they're down in or got rugged or whatever it might be. And there can be a bit of excitement that can come into the market. So let's see what shakes out there. It does look like the January low is in. and we only have a couple of days left in January, so I would be very surprised if January set in a new low. So that looks like the low is already in for January, and that we're gearing up for some February upside, which I have been saying for quite some time there. We do see that the 20 EMA on the daily is actually been holding support since we broke back above it about 2 weeks ago. We do have the 50-day moving average sitting there at around about 99 or 100,000. This is the bottom of the range. Currently, as I've said before, bottom of the range, top of the range around 108. Yeah, you could say 109, almost 110,000 there. If we start to come above here and find resistance there, I may redo and put a top of the range there. This is actually a Fibonacci. It's a double Fibonacci, part of my Fibonacci stacking. You can see my video on Fibonacci's in my cheat sheet, which is, there's an education tab. You can check that out and watch my educational videos there. Okay, but you can see this is the top of the range. This was the range. Top of the range previously for about 2 months. Only 10 days we were outside that range for that 2-month period. So that was a range, and now we're in this range. So really, how do we play this range? Until we move out of this range, I would be a buyer at the bottom of this range and a seller at the middle, which we are at now, or at least a profit taker in the middle of the range, which is around 104, but we have gone above that. But there is 2 Fibonacci's here, one at 104 and one at 105, kind of close together. But you can trade these little swings. You know, if you get in here at the 20 EMA on the daily here, you can trade that up. These small little swings there, you can leverage trade or you can spot trade that. Just these little swings here, the same thing as if it was to come down here and trade that up. And, you know, you could find, you know, this is where sometimes I take profit. Wherever it rejects, I look to take profit whenever there is a clear rejection, like clear rejection here, there on this candle, clear rejection over there, these big long pin bar candles, they're bearish. There's a lot of selling. I mean, look at this one here. There's a massive pin bar candle, but at the same time, this is one you want to buy as support because you saw that long wick there as well. So that can be very, very helpful. So I think we're still on track. I feel like I have guided this journey very well from the beginning of May. I even predicted the breakout moment, and it happened exactly. I even had the tribal trades trend line and the wedge that it was in. You can go back to all my previous videos, and at some point we might do that and see that has all come to pass and all happened as I felt that it would happen. And of course, Bitcoin dominance is hitting that tribal trades trend line. For those of you holding altcoins, we have an altcoin show coming up in a couple of hours, so stay tuned for that. But there is a rejection on the tribal trades trend line, one line to rule them all. But before we go, we're going to check the liquidation levels here, because this has been ruling and governing price along within those ranges. So within those ranges, so we're in the 100 to 108, 109,000 range. So we can see here, these could be the next movements to 106 or down to a 104. So if we come down to 104 and we find support there, that could be, if we go there first, that could be a good entry, and then that could be a good exit, for example, at 106. And then you line those up with your Fibonacci's and your other moving averages. I do have a video on called the Bitcoin cheat code. Please watch that if you want to learn how to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And you can do not just for Bitcoin, but other coins as well. As you can see here, 106, and then we've got 104, and then below that 103 there. So if 104 didn't hold, then maybe the entry is 103, or even down lower at 102 or 100. You've got to see where support is found and then look above. And so I'm constantly checking these charts during the day to see if any of these levels line up with my Fibonacci's and other technical indicators that I use. I do not use this as standalone trading. Again, 104 and 106 seem to be the levels that have the most going on at the moment. And definitely on the weekly, you can see we're coming up. We're coming back up to take 107. So be patient. We're coming back up to take 107. And then at some point, we're going to leave this range. How long are we going to stay in this 100 to 108, 109K range? Again, up to 110,000. There is a lot of liquidity there. 172 million to 109,593 is going to get liquidated. They've gone in too heavy. And I'm not going to explain, because I do this every single day. So I'm not going to explain how this works. If you're new, go and see the education tab in my cheat sheet there that I have, and my cheat sheet is found. You can find it in an older video from earlier November in the description there, or if you're in the Discord there, and then we'll jump out to the 3-month chart there. And of course, yeah, we do still have a lot. I think the 1-month chart is quite interesting to me here. When I have a look at this, you do see this level down there at 96, but at some point liquidity does get left behind and tagged at a later time. Of course, these are the big levels that I think the market makers are going to come up and get at some point. There is just hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's just one exchange, Binance. There are plenty of others where there are liquidation levels. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the show, and until the next episode, happy trading.